Well, howdy folks. Looks like I got audio. Looks like I got video. We are... Do what?
You don't have any?
I don't have Patty. She'll be here in a minute. Patty, if you want. Uh-oh.
Here I am.
I even got audio coming out.
You got audio everywhere, huh?
Got audio everywhere. Give us a second to get in sorts here. And let's see. Patty, if you want to reach over there and click on one of those YouTube tabs, you can...
I can't reach it because all the stuff I have.
Yeah.
I got lots of stuff right here. Let's see. Like one of these YouTube tabs?
Yeah, because I don't remember which one it is. There it is.
Okay. Okay. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Mardella McCullen Hessen on Facebook. And...
Kelly,
we're actually on time. We didn't have any
problem.
We didn't have any tentacle difficulties this week.
Well, I never lived that down.
No,
I never said I was a good speller.
Just you'll never live. You'll never. Michael Killam has got to get used to this, and you've got to get used to tentacle difficulties
instead of technical difficulties.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, Kim.
Got the camera kind of at a weird angle because we're going to be. Patty's
you got it way up in the air.
I know, but
I have to look up. See, I'll look down right there, and it's up there.
Well, it's because I need to be able to show the workspace over here.
Yes, that's right. Because I'm gonna be working, and we weren't just baiting y'all. We had a surprise today, and we're gonna really tell y'all about it. But because I'm gonna be cooking, because of our surprise, I have not done the preparations I need to do. So I need to get going showing y'all the zucchini. And Kim was right, and there was a couple of other people right. It is mock apples. Is what I'm
mock
doing.
Apple pie.
Yeah, well,
or mock apple crisp.
Mock apples.
Mock apples that you can either make a pie or do whatever with.
So I'm gonna get started doing that, and I'm gonna
That's fine. Just set it back over there.
You see it?
Yeah. Okay. While she's doing that, let me restate that. So the plan was that we were gonna almost this entire show was going to be Patty showing you how to make mock apples, and probably was going to make her queen loaf.
Yes, because you know how I do it with apples in it. I was going to do the mock apples in it.
Which I don't know what page it's on, but it's in Patty's Sourdough Start to Finish book. And had our plans not changed,
and they got changed,
we would have done that. But our plans got changed. That's the other surprise we're going to tell you about in a little bit. But we're just to give you a hint, we're both still dripping sweat.
Yeah, still sweaty. I thought about I should have taken a picture of how my hair looked before. I did go brush it and spray some hairspray in it because it was a mess. So, but I've got my zucchinis. I got to start peeling.
Yeah, in case you haven't seen the photo, those are zucchinis, and she's going to be doing something with at least 3 of those.
No. I'm going to do something with until I get 8 cups.
Oh, okay.
My plan was to have this, some of it already cooked on the stove, where then I could go straight into making a queen loaf and everything. I didn't even get my sourdough going, so
we had to make last minute adjustments. So let me give you my, let me change the camera. Yeah, I'm gonna change the camera angle. Let's see if I got that right. How's that?
That's good. That's good. So
there you go. So Patty's gonna, I'm gonna turn it over to Patty.
Yeah, all you have to do, you have to peel the zucchini first. This is the way I do it. There may be another way. If you wouldn't mind, hand me a tablespoon out of the drawer, please.
Okay, that's a big one, right? But not a real big one.
Yeah. So, I've already washed these really good. And then you're just going to take the peelings off. And what's really amazing about this, they actually, just set it down, baby, thank you. They actually look like little apples. And it is tart, so you're going to have to call this tart apple pie if you want to trick somebody, or tart apple crisp. I've made both, and they're both very good. And everybody is always amazed. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you may see me drop this zucchini because it's so slippery on the other side. But people are always amazed that it's zucchini. Even my mama eats it, and she doesn't eat zucchini. I mean, it has no zucchini taste at all. So But it's real simple to do. So, that's about it. Okay. Hold that please, babe. There you go. I think it's only going to take one of these. What you want to have is 8 cups. And I have
you need me to keep this here?
Yeah, for just a second. You have, I brought numerous knives over here because I didn't know which one I'm going to like best to do it. This part the pigs get. But this is it. Oh, somebody told me an easier way to do this. I forgot what it was. Oh, that's right. I remember. Because I haven't made it since last year.
I'm watching too, Tom. And the Tigers just took the lead.
Yes, can y'all believe that? You're going to cut this into 4 pieces. What I used to do, I had Tommy get me the spoon, because what I used to do was take the spoon, and you can't really, it's burning
it's
out.
washed out, sorry.
But there's seeds in here, and so you'd want to scrape these seeds out. But, and I would do that with a spoon. Now, I cannot remember what smarter than me person told me to do it this other way.
You wasn't Therese?
But I really, it was somebody when we did a video last year, told me to do it this way. All right, can you hold the bucket, please?
Yep.
All right, then all you have to do is take your knife and slide it along under the seeds. Now, I left a little bit there, but I can scrape the rest of that with the spoon. Where is the spoon? Oh, there it is. Can you put it down some?
Yeah.
Oh, you trying to? Oh, I'm sorry. You're trying to get over here in the camera, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to push you away.
Well, I can move the camera.
So I'm gonna really, I guess I could have cut this another time, but once you get down to this area, it's really soft. So,
Lynn Hawkins on
That one did
Facebook
good.
says, "Hi, Tommy and Patty. I wait all week for this very moment."
oh, thank you,
Gosh,
Lynn. That's so sweet.
That's so sweet of you, Lynn.
And we've got a surprise later in the show too.
Yep.
We're gonna get all this done, and then we're gonna talk to y'all and show
A
y'all some pictures.
huge surprise.
You know, that might be too much.
No, it's not. It's a huge surprise.
Yeah.
Misty McMorris, it may be your service. I would say hit refresh, unless anybody else is buffering, because I don't have any indication on our end that there's any problem.
And y'all, some of these zucchini, okay, sweetheart, some of these zucchini got away from us, okay? But some of them I left on purpose. I like to make this, and I put this in the freezer. It freezes great. So, next you're just going to cut them like this. Look at how that looks. Looks like a little wedge of apple. Now, it don't taste like an apple just yet.
Mary Alice Kinsey Campbell says, "I love surprises."
Oh, I usually do too. I definitely
I can't get
like to be surprised. One of the biggest surprises I had, I think, in my life, because I'm usually a very observant kind of person and stuff like that, was I guess when Cameron surprised me on my birthday one year. He came home.
Yep.
By the way, Cameron, that would be a wonderful surprise if you did that again. So, okay, so I have my measuring bowl, and like this one's kind of big, I just cut that in half like that. You want to kind of have them uniform because you're going to be cooking them, and you want them to be all done. So, what?
Kim Farmer says the surprise is you're coming to visit us in Kentucky. No, we wish.
No, Kim, I've never been to Kentucky that I could. No, I guess I have, but I was little, so I don't remember it. So I would love to come to Kentucky. I hope this banging's not too loud.
Y'all, sorry, we're going to be a while on the comments on YouTube because the laptop is far away from me and I can't get it going on Patty's iPad. So all I can see is the Facebook comments right now.
Beverly says he sees us loud and clear.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, everybody on Facebook is saying Tom Rio said the feed is good.
Okay.
Aaron Bullock, no buffering. Ardella McCullen Hessen, fine in Springfield, Ohio. So,
yeah, I do believe just one of these giant zucchinis is going to be good. And yeah, and you could do the grated zucchini to freeze with this, but I would think because the seeds were so huge, pick out some of those seeds and show them how big they are. They're kind of hard, so you probably would still want to do like I've done and scrape the seeds out, because those are pretty hard. I think that could even be planted.
Pretty good so size seed, yeah.
Of course, I've got
well, the pigs are going to plant them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and we have had volunteers come up from throwing stuff out to the animals. So, and I usually do a big, huge pot of this. This is what the recipe calls for. And see, that's about got my 8 cups, but I'm going to go ahead and top it off. The recipe calls for the 8 cups, but I do it in big batches where I can freeze it in one of my big pots. So, but I'm just going to throw these extra in because it won't hurt anything, because this is going in the freezer since I haven't gotten it arranged to. What?
Say hey, Toby.
Hey, Toby. Where's Toby?
No, I'm telling Toby to say hey.
Oh, there's my Toby man. He knows we're working
wherever
in the kitchen.
Food preparation is taking place, Toby's going to be nearby.
Toby's there, yep. Okay, now there is really over 8 cups. That's probably 9 cups of apples, but the recipe says 8 cups. So, but that's what I'm going to do is that. And so, where's my pot? Back here. All right, I'm going to put that in my pot.
Toby's about 13 years old, or 14, maybe 15.
Okay, and here is, now I've changed the recipe a little bit because I found it was a little too tart. It calls for 1 cup of lemon juice. Now, I add, what I do, instead of doing a cup of lemon juice, I put 1/4 of a cup of water and then 3/4 cup of lemon juice. So that's what I do. And you're gonna cook the apples, simmering them, kind of boiling them until they're done. And you know how, I mean the apples, the zucchini. And you know how zucchini is, it's not gonna quite cover them, but they'll make plenty of water to cook. As long as I don't cook them too fast, I think it'll be okay. Now that's all there is to it. So I'm going to set these cooking. Watch out, Toby.
While you're doing that, I have a very important question. Tom Rio, did that Peterson hit the ball? I was looking away. No, man, the Tigers are up 6-3. Must have been. Maneri's still grinning.
Okay, now, all right, baby, you can do the camera.
All right, ready?
Okay, so now that's that. That is how you get it started and get it going. That was 3/4 cup of lemon juice and.
So I can move the pig bucket?
Yeah, and 1/4 of a cup of water. Put it all right there, out of the way, and I still have. So I'm going to be able to do 1, 2, 3, at least 4 more batches with all the zucchini that I have. So, okay.
Nothing to it. Nothing to it.
Let me go back through and look at some of the comments. And
yeah.
some of the guesses that was on Facebook, I'm going to look up some of those recipes because they sounded so good.
All right, well, I'm going to give up on trying to get YouTube over here since you got
Amy.
it.
Okay, so let me go back up and see. Okay, if y'all have any questions or anything. Oh, Nanda said, may YouTube be kinder than last week. Well, so far, so good. I'm very, very pleased. Tommy had whatever he started or did or whatever. He said it's working. I'm just going to leave it like this.
Yeah, I actually started.
I don't know what that meant, but.
Well, the way we do, I've got Wirecast on my computer, and so Wirecast sends a single stream up to a service called Switchboard Live, or Joycaster was the old name. And then Switchboard Live sends it to Facebook and to YouTube. So that's how we're able to stream to 2 places at once. Well, I can start the stream on my laptop, and it's not going to go to YouTube or Facebook until I start it in Switchboard Live. And so 20 minutes, I started the stream last week. I started the stream on my laptop right before it was time to go live, and we were having trouble. So this week I got everything set up, and the stream was going to Switchboard for 20 minutes before.
But it was working.
Yeah, so because I wanted to make sure it was working. Hey, Tricia.
Tom DeSoe said we could knock somebody out or kill somebody with one of those zucchinis. They're big.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're big. They're big.
They're big. They are whoppers.
Okay, so it looks like oh yeah, Springfield Ridge Farm said that they were glad we did the video because I usually throw them away. That's right, or feed them to the chickens or the pigs or whatever. But and there's a man at the farmers market, James. He actually, because you just can't help it. Sometimes it just happens. You just blink your eyes and the zucchini's huge. Yeah. And he'll bring them to me at the market and give them to me because he knows I like to have them. So
Mary Alice Kinsey Campbell says, can you freeze some of the zucchini after it's cooked to use in a later dish?
If you're talking about the apple zucchini, yes, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I do with it. Little Goat Feather said, Miss Patty, I use a cookie dough scoop for removing the seeds. It works really well. I bet it does.
That is a great idea.
I bet
or an
it
ice
does.
cream scoop.
That's what I said. It does.
You said cookie dough.
Oh yeah,
Probably
yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that'd be cool.
Oh, and she mentioned the chocolate cake too. And I have made zucchini bread. If you can grab it, if you know which one it is.
This one.
No, that's not it.
This one.
No, that's not it.
This one.
Yes, that's it. So there's the zucchini bread, and I'm working on
I
my
only
recipes.
had one more.
You know, just one more, because I've been working on my recipes again for a new sourdough book, and this is sourdough zucchini bread, and I'm very, very pleased at how moist it is. It turned out really good. I did it good.
Yeah, you did.
I was watching. Ooh, I might want a piece of it. So anyway, so I've been playing with my sourdough recipe, and it's turned out pretty good. I think it might need a little bit more sugar, but it's plenty moist enough.
So Laurie Nelson Serena just joined us, said, hey, Alderman Farms, what are you making? So you want to recap right quick what you did with the zucchini?
We have these giant zucchinis like this, and I am making mock apple crisp.
This is a small one.
Yeah, this is not the hugest one, but anyway, I have peeled it and I have scraped out the inside, and I've pared it up like looks like little apples, and I have got it in a pot back here on the stove, which I'm fixing to stir, and it's got 1/4 of a cup of water and 3/4 cup of lemon juice.
And if you go back,
cook till tender.
After the video is posted later, you can go back and watch the beginning and see how she does that. But is it going to be ready for tasting like before the show's over?
I'm hoping so.
Because we've got 40 minutes before everybody has to jump over to the Pratt Family Homestead
I think it's going to be
for Pratt Pack Live tonight.
Yeah. I don't want to scorch it. What?
I don't know if they can swing them depending on what age they are. David Sharrow says they could be donated to a local Little League team. Talking about the zucchinis.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Their little hands probably couldn't get around them. These things were whoppers. But
hey, Tim Beverly says, Tommy, what are you going to do with all those tomatoes?
Watch Patty can them, and I'm going to eat a bunch of sandwiches.
We love tomato sandwiches.
We love Mater sandwiches down here in the South with bread, sourdough bread, plenty of mayonnaise, salt and pepper.
I just like it. I sometimes don't even put salt on mine. Just maybe a little bit of salt.
Just a little. Doesn't have to be much.
Time to Sow says, how far are we from the coast? There's a bad storm brewing in the Gulf. Yeah, I haven't looked at it today. They're expecting it to maybe just stay a tropical storm. But we're about, what, 3 hours from the coast?
Yeah, yeah, that's probably right, because
Like
we're
that.
about 2.5 hours from Danny and Wanda at Deep South Homestead.
Yeah.
And then the coast is another 30 minutes from them. So that's
Yeah.
about right. So
Yeah,
Danny and
they're
Wanda
much closer than we
much
are.
closer and much more subject to receive any effects of this particular thing. But we don't, as of now, they're not expecting it to. I think just a rain event, a heavy
haven't
rain
looked at
event.
it really good yesterday, and it could. The European models are expecting like 8 to 10 inches. The American models are not expecting quite that much. So, hey, Backwoods Raised.
Yeah. So
thank you, Laura. Okay.
Hey, here's something.
Yep, tomato mayo. What's that? We got to get to talking about. Oh yes. Now this is a nice treat. We knew this was coming, so this is not a surprise. It's our new refrigerator. We've been having refrigerator problems, and so we got a refrigerator here today. And as I was cleaning out my refrigerator, that's when I found out about the surprise.
Yeah. But the thing to notice about this is it's a bottom freezer. We've been wanting a bottom freezer for a while.
I'm excited about that.
Ice makers down there, and you just don't realize how nice it is to not have to bend over to look into your refrigerator.
Well, yeah, and everything's up higher.
Everything's
I really
up
like
high.
it. I think we're gonna really
I think we're going to be pleased. Got a pretty good deal on it. We didn't spend, you know, $2,000 on
a fancier one.
Yeah. Tim, I actually like the Walmart brand of the mayo. I like a good tart mayo.
Sam's, we get it at Sam's.
Yeah, we get it at Sam's Club.
The cheap one.
So the cheap kind, and it's fine for me. I think it's kind of close to Blue Plate.
Yeah, and he's got Blue Plate now because he went by Walmart, and it was a different brand or whatever. I mean, at Sam's.
Yeah, certainly not Miracle Whip. Anybody that makes a tomato sandwich with Miracle Whip, disassociate. You don't need those kind of people in your life. So, Amy Brumfield Swaney says she has the same fridge and loves it.
Yeah.
Loves it. So.
I think we're gonna really like it.
All right. So you ready to talk about our other surprise?
Well, what do you want to do? A garden update first and show them the pictures of the garden?
Oh yeah, yeah. So y'all, let me just show you how gorgeous. Now these pictures were not taken today; they were taken a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
But look at that.
See that corn?
We've worked really hard to. We wanted our garden to not only be bountiful, but to be aesthetically pleasing, to be kind of a retreat, you know. And so that, look at that Danny corn. To the left of the Danny corn is sunflowers, bunches of peas.
Yeah, the corn really had grown since then, and the green beans.
Look at the green beans. They, you know, Patty has mentioned they were growing like almost every day at a rate of, you know, a foot to 18 inches a day, it seems like. Our first time ever planting okra in a box.
Yeah, and it's really done great.
Oh yeah, there were blooms all over it.
Yeah, every one.
Every single stalk.
Yeah, had blooms.
Yeah,
has blooms to open.
Patty's box of dill was probably what, 2 feet deep, 2 feet high of dill.
Yeah, it looks good.
And that's the free plants that she got. They weren't looking so great, but they were there.
Yeah, so. I had needed to put diatomaceous earth on the cabbage because I had some bugs, and I was just fixing to harvest the kale.
Yeah, so
because it needs to be picked.
So that's how everything looked just 2 days ago. Let me show you the difference that one afternoon could make. So we'll go back to the Danny corn. That was a couple of days ago, and this is how it looks now. It's gone. That's the green. This is how the green beans looked a couple of days ago, and this is how the green beans look now. They're gone. This is how the okra looked 2 days ago, and this is how the okra looks now. It's gone. This is how the dill looked 2 days ago, and this is how the dill looks now. It's mostly gone. This is how the cabbage and kale looked 2 days ago, and this is how the kale looks. I mean, the kale and the cabbage looks now.
You know, we have good surprises that we really like in our life, and then we have bad ones.
This was a bad one. We had a guy come over today looking at a piece of equipment he's going to get. Tigers win. That's a good surprise. And
I'm over here putting stuff from the old fridge in the new fridge.
Yeah, Patty's over here transferring stuff from the old refrigerator to the new refrigerator. Hoping to, and then trying to do that quickly so she could
get... because I had to get prepared for the show.
Yeah, she was going to get sourdough ready to do a different zucchini surprise. And I hear Corey holler. And it kind of alarmed me because I thought, you know, is he hollering for me? And when I rounded the corner, I saw 2 goats in the garden. And what was so funny is our neighbor, the friend who's over here to buy that piece of equipment, was over here yesterday looking at it. And just jokingly, he said... Yeah,
we had walked in. He looked at the garden.
Looked at the garden yesterday. It looked gorgeous, just like in those pictures. Yeah. And he kind of jokingly said, y'all, them goats is going to get in there and eat all of this. Ha, 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 ha. Because his goats had gotten into his and eaten it all a couple years ago, and then gotten into neighbors and eaten all of his. And we were like, yeah, nah, that's not going to happen. And so I hollered at him. I said, this is all your fault. And when I texted Patty, she didn't get it.
Yeah, because I was busy. I was just, ignoring it.
So then I called Patty, and she was like, you're lying.
I just knew Grant had put him up to tricking me and making
because of what he had said yesterday.
What he said yesterday, and so I just knew I was going to round the corner and they'd be filming me or something and laughing at me. You know, I just knew that's what it was because it took him a little while to make me come over there, to get me there.
And when she come over there, she's screaming at him jokingly, "This is all your fault. You did this. You spoke it into existence."
Yeah, you know? I said, "This is your fault, Grant."
Look how funny Lynn Hawkins, when we were first showing the picture, said, "Wow, what a beautiful garden. Looks like it's from a magazine." Yeah, now it looks like from a magazine that talks about disaster zones. But thank you, Lynn. It did look beautiful. And you know what? It'll look beautiful again.
Yep. Maybe next year, but it'll happen again.
It'll recover some this year, we hope. Patty's thinking, my first question was, Patty, will the green beans grow back?
And I'm really thinking they may. You know, of course, I would have probably been picking green beans in a couple of weeks because they had flowers all over them and everything. And so I would have, it may be later in the summer, you know, that we may get some green beans off of it. Maybe just enough for us to eat, maybe for me to can a few. I don't know. I still have like 14 jars from last year, so that's good. But the okra, I just don't know about the okra. You know, I just don't know about the okra.
Look, there's this
Valerie
sweet lady.
Says, can I replant? I think I can. Usually, you know, I was so far ahead of the game with my okra because usually in May is the month you plant okra here because it's got to be very warm.
Because you normally plant seeds in the ground.
Yeah, you plant seeds in the ground. Well, I've had this okra in the ground for a couple of months and it has just taken off. And I mean, I would have been the first one at the market with okra.
Because we didn't plant seeds in the ground. Patty started them all in the greenhouse. Yeah, I started them in the greenhouse.
So, yeah, I could replant the okra. And I'm probably going to still do it in my little seed trays, but just out in the open, you know.
Yeah, crazy. So. Talking about the green beans, there's a sweet lady on Facebook, a local lady, who bought some of our green beans right as they were playing out last year at the farmers market, and so she's been messaging us every so often.
Yeah,
I want to get on.
I asked her to. She had messaged me a while back, and I said, please message me in a month.
So she's been faithful to, hey, I want to be on your list. I want to make sure I don't miss any of those wonderful beans. And so she just messaged me when? Yesterday. And I said, and we were thinking, you know, we may have beans toward the end of next week or the next. And so I gave her Patty's number, and I said, look, toward the end of next week, send Patty a text message. You know, we may actually have some by the end of next week because there were blooms everywhere. And if you know anything about
how long it took for them to make a bean after they bloomed, you know.
Yeah, but I do remember that whenever they start making a bean, it don't take any time.
Yeah, you pick every other day.
You pick every other day.
Yeah.
So we haven't had the heart to message her yet, you know, and say there's been a setback. Mm-hmm. Let me show you that again.
I just don't know if I'm going to be able to
show you that again.
Sell any this year.
That is 2 double rows of snap beans. Each of those rows has beans on both sides of that cattle panel. And just look how they were doing. And this is what they look like now.
Yeah, and Gene O'Connor said some of it will grow back. Yes, definitely some of it will. The beans, I was looking at them a little bit more closely after I had just been like, after my dismay had gotten a little bit better and everything, and you know, they're still in the ground and there's still some runners that go all the way up to the top. They just don't have any leaves on it or blooms or anything, and from what I've seen with green beans, I think that will put out more. So it just may be another month or two, you know, getting to that point again.
Yeah.
So maybe not 2 months, but we'll see, you know, we'll see. And also, like the Danny corn, it looked so good.
Oh, man,
it was doing
so
great.
Good.
That won't come back.
That won't come
back. And
it's
really a little late. Well, it is a field corn, so I'll ask my neighbor, Tommy Nettles, because he's planted field corn before. I'm just not sure, because I know it can grow when it's hotter. So
we'll ask Danny. It's Danny corn.
Well, that's true.
Danny.
That's true.
So,
well, I know he's already got his corn planted, but you know, so I may just have to wait till next year and plant. I did not plant all the Danny corn, so I still have some seeds.
Valerie says, "How are the goats?" Well, we didn't kill them, so you know what? It's not their fault. It's our fault.
Being a goat, you know.
It's our fault.
Doing what goats do and eating, you know.
If you've been following our channel for, when did Honey do that? 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's been 3 to 4.
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a cow.
She got my tomatoes.
Physically, yeah.
And they were like this big. I'm not exaggerating. This big, and green just before picking them. I mean, gorgeous tomatoes.
They didn't touch any of the tomatoes, so the tomatoes still look good.
They look good. And so I'm very thankful for that.
We're very thankful for that. They didn't touch the squash.
Yeah, the squash is not touched, so that's great.
It seemed like they went, they came in on the opposite end of the garden and went to the far end to start working their way back. But
yeah, they ate a lot of the peas. I think the peas are going to recover. Some, I don't know what variety it was, but they ate so close to the ground. I don't know if that will recover. But you can plant peas right now. You can plant peas throughout the summer because it's a hot weather variety.
We actually didn't show all the damage because the cucumbers are gone.
Yeah.
In both places that we had them planted.
And I didn't have that many cucumbers planted, so I was being good. You know, I was planting less, so I'm gonna reseed some cucumbers and just keep my fingers crossed.
Luckily, I think the grapes are fine because they couldn't reach them.
Yeah, and the spaghetti squash made it.
And how about the melons? They didn't eat the melons, did they?
No, they didn't touch the melons.
Yeah.
I mean, they look perfect. I mean, and there's a few footprints around them. But I'm glad.
So anyway, what I was going to say is
Rosemary, the goats ate our garden today. That's what. Yeah. She says she joined late, so. Yeah, you have to go back and look at the pictures.
The goats ate our garden today. Almost all of it, 75% of it, or 80. And so anyway, about 4 years ago, Honey, our Jersey cow, just flat jumped over the fence and tore it down.
Yeah.
Not tore it down, but squished it way down, and she wiped out our tomato crop.
And if she really didn't necessarily eat it, we had done the Florida weave. That was the first year we did the Florida weave.
Just tore it down.
That's the first time I was on the YouTube show, I think, on purpose.
Maybe so, doing the Florida weave.
Yeah. And it just, knocked them to the ground.
And it was probably one of our best tomato crops.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful.
So anyway, let this be a lesson to you. Instead of permanently repairing the fence, we did a temporary solution, and it's worked for 4 years until earlier this year. The goats decided, hey, I bet we can get through that hole, and so.
And I had it barricaded.
And this was before we, had everything planted, so no harm, no foul. But we had actually let the goats in there to help us get the garden ready for planting.
Weed it for us.
But then they got in there a little bit later, and I was out of town, so Patty had to fix something, and she stretched some cable that we used to use for our.
Y'all remember when I fell down?
Yeah, when she fell.
I tripped myself.
And stretched some cable that we used to use for growing green beans on, and that worked until today. And anyway, eventually I need to permanently replace that fence. Now, right now, we've got it fixed. They cannot get in there. I happen to have 2 extra cattle panels that we've got permanently affixed on the outsides of the posts, so they can't push it down. They can't get in there. But, so all that's to say is, I can't be mad at the goats because I'm not gone all the time, and the time I'm home, I should have taken that go out there.
It was working,
Yeah.
But when you have animals like that, though, you've got to keep it up really good, I guess. Hey, Mr. Arnie. He says the goats was looking at the garden saying to each other, I dare you. I will if you will. Yeah, and I'm sure once the first one went over, they just was all.
Yeah, and what was so funny is when I first got over there and realized we had a goat problem, I could see 2 goats. But when I got in the garden, I realized there were like 6 of them in there. It wasn't all, I don't know, maybe was it.
We have 9 goats.
Was it all of them but Spree?
I don't know. I didn't see any goats in there. You didn't got them out by the time you
saw
so
me. It may have been 8 of them in there.
Hey, Jan, you got to go back and watch the beginning of the show because our goats ate the garden today.
I'll show these again right quick. Before, now. Before, now. Before, now. Before.
My beautiful deal.
Now.
I was just fixing to dehydrate some deal too.
Before. Now.
So.
Such is life.
Yeah. Eagle Camp Homestead said goats and hogs are escape artists. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see, the thing about Dairy goats, not so much. Is Mr. Rain in here? I joke it with him all the time about like pygmy goats. You know, there's no enclosure built by human hands that can keep a pygmy goat where a pygmy goat doesn't want to be, or keep him out of where he wants to be. But dairy goats are not so much driven by wanderlust, and but
we've had a few.
But they saw an opening. But the thing is, if there's an opening, they'll take it, especially if they're so tempted. You know, they had to walk by that luscious garden every day. But you know what? Hey, welcome to Alderman Farms, where life on the farm just got real. So, how's it coming over here, hon?
Coming along good.
If you're just joining us, Patty took several of these ginormous zucchinis. Oh, she just did one. One of the giant ones. And she is making mock apple out of it.
It's almost done.
She skinned them, she quartered them, she scooped the seeds out, she cut them into apple-looking slices, and she's cooking them down with what?
1/4 of a cup of water and 3/4 cup of lemon juice. So. And
then she can take that and do several things.
You can make apple pie. It'd be called tart apple pie or tart apple crisp because it is on the tart side, but it's still very good, and you really don't have any idea you're not eating.
No.
That you're not eating apples.
It's funny. I don't know how many people we've done that for, served it to them, and they are convinced that it's apple and actually have a hard time believing us when we say, you just ate a zucchini pie.
Yeah, yeah, I love doing that, so... But
the texture, it's not just the taste. I mean, the
texture
is
too.
just like a cooked apple.
So it's not like, you know, it's kind of like how you make strawberry figs. You know, if you don't tell people that they're eating figs, they don't know a lot of times. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, y'all, I mean, I'm disappointed with the garden. Okra is something... I don't freeze a lot of okra. I enjoy getting to eat it along, and I'll freeze some already cooked, and I call it smothered, and I'm going to do a video on different ways to cook okra. I'll buy some at the market if mine don't make it, if I don't get any more planted. But also, the thing I think that's going to hurt us the worst is the green beans. And I may be able to salvage enough, you know, to be able to put some up, and then I can always buy some at the market, you know. But, you know, it makes you think, if we were in hard times and we couldn't go to the store or go to the farmer's market and buy more, we would be like out there, we wouldn't be talking to y'all, we would be out there planting our garden again.
Yeah.
You know, if we were dependent.
And butchering goats.
Yeah, and butchering goats. Because, I mean, you know, but, you know, we're not there. And, you know, thank God we can afford to buy some green beans, you know, at the farmer's market if we have to. And all, but like I said, I have about 14 jars, I think I counted up, still in the pantry, which I've been using them a lot and cooking like 2 jars at a time and stuff like that. But I won't do that anymore. I kind of hoard things. When I don't have a lot of them, I don't cook it often. So try to make it last.
You know, what's just so disheartening is that, first of all, we're blessed that they didn't get everything.
Yes.
You know, we're blessed that
they
didn't.
The tomatoes. I'm so glad
they
about
didn't.
the tomatoes.
It doesn't appear that they touched the tomatoes. It doesn't appear that they touched the squash. Doesn't appear that they touched those caramel melons or whatever they are.
American melons.
But what's so disheartening is the things that they did touch, they got it all.
Well, no, they didn't get all the peas, you know.
Well, no, they didn't get all the peas.
Which, that would have kind of been okay because I could have replanted those easily.
But they got all the beans. They got all the okra. They got all the Danny corn. They got all the sunflowers.
Well, but I'm telling you what, Tommy, that okra, remember I was showing you out there how it was kind of branching already down low?
Yeah.
It was kind of branching. I'm kind of in hopes because there's something that people do too that you may not know about. When the okra gets tall, people will come in and cut it off to make it sprout out like this. So I've not given up on the okra yet.
Well, that'd be interesting. It'd be an interesting
experience.
So there you go. We're doing an experiment.
Yeah.
Using goats we're doing an experiment to trim our okra with goats.
Yeah.
So,
and Valerie, if in case you didn't hear, no, they did not touch the zucchini. They did not touch the yellow squash, and they had to go right past it to get the beans. The beans were right next to it.
Big giant green leaves.
Which of course but they ate my fig tree leaves earlier in the spring.
You know, I say they didn't touch
rough.
it. I mean, there may have been a couple of leaves gone.
I saw a leaf broke and stuff like that, but I mean, the plants are fine.
Walking,
you know, the plants are fine.
So Cindy Pavlik-Pulliam says recipe please, and so Cindy, we'll try to remember to.
Oh yeah, well with everything happening, we didn't even think about doing the recipe.
Yeah, so Patty will put the recipe. It's very simple what she did. I mean, she'll give me the recipe and I'll put it in the description of the video.
Homemade Home says hi from Slidell, Louisiana. Hello, we're originally from Louisiana.
Yep, not Slidell, but.
Yep.
Hey, Miss Mary Burner.
Hey, Miss Mary.
Oh, man.
Miss Mary, you're not going to be happy. The goats ate my garden.
Yeah. You need to go back and watch it from the beginning, Miss Mary, and see the devastation.
Thomas So says the okra does have a chance to grow back. Good. I'm thinking it might. It's just not. I'll try and take some close-up pictures and show y'all. That's what when I got to looking at the green beans, you know, there's still lots of life down at the bottom. It's not uprooted or anything, and I could see that some vines are still attached going all the way to the top. They weren't broken, just didn't have leaves on them. So I'm hopeful that I'll get to go. So Out West Homestead said growing a food forest in the desert, but still planting vegetables. It's been cold here. Yeah, well, that's the same with us. My garden has just taken off, in the last month? Just boom.
Boom.
But, you know, we planted some stuff back in March, April, and it just wouldn't grow because it was cold here,
It was cold. And, you know, everybody, typically in this part of the country, planting day is Good Friday, but and there's those who planted on Good Friday lost everything, you know, because there was frost that took place after that.
I had my poor cucumbers got bit back to frost.
Hey, listen to this. Now, Cindy Pavlik-Pulliam said deer ate down her okra, but they did regrow even better.
Great.
So that's good. Did they eat them down like that, Cindy? I hope so. I'm saying I hope that they ate them from that all the way down to that. And you got the results you did. I hope you understand that. I'm not saying I hope the deer hit you that hard.
I'm going to pour this up back here where I don't splash the computers, but I'll bring it up closer to show y'all.
I think they heard you because I was watching the meter, but she's pouring the mock apple up back there away from the computer, and she'll bring it up here to show us.
You have to strain this and let it strain for a little while. If you want to just turn the camera down, babe, instead of me trying to do that hot over it.
Whoa.
Okay, there you go. Look, you got it good. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of show, and you see they're kind of yellow now, not so white.
It's going to fog up the camera.
And they're not mush, because of course whatever you use it in, they're going to be cooked some. So it had just a little bit of a firmness to it when I cut it, but it's and like I said, it's going to cook up more in whatever dish you use it in.
And it already looks like pieces of apple.
It really does. And so I'm not gonna. I would let this strain till it was almost cool. I'm gonna put it back here and let it strain for maybe 5 minutes because we've got to be done for Mike and Jenny's show.
Yeah.
So.
And tonight, I do have a marriage tip for men tonight.
Oh, well, you want to go ahead and do that now?
Yeah.
Well, then we can.
And then we'll talk about our upcoming plans.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for our marriage tips for men, boys and girls. And tonight I've got a simple one. I say it's simple, but sometimes the simple things are things that we forget about. And here it is. Rule number 1. Be grateful. Say thank you for every single thing she does for you. Hashtag marriage tips for men. Be grateful. Say thank you. You'd be amazed how far a simple thank you can go in a relationship, in any relationship. There are lots of my rules, marriage tips for men, my rules of engagement that I don't live up to on often enough basis. But I think Patty will testify that this is one that I live up to consistently.
Yes,
right?
I would say so.
Because I thank her for every meal that she cooks. I thank her.
I mean, she always tells me it's good.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you something.
Even if it's not.
I learned that from my daddy, because my daddy, that everybody called Pappy, was a heart patient. He had a major heart attack, lost 2/3 of his heart, and was able to survive and had a pretty fulfilling life for 18 years after losing 2/3 of his heart.
Yeah.
Because my mom was a drill sergeant. She relearned how to cook. My mom was a great cook. She relearned how to cook. So, you know, according to the cardiologist recommendations and stuff, with no sodium and all that, and people would ask my dad, how did he manage to live such a healthy life like that? And he said he had one simple rule: if it tastes good, spit it out. and
that's what he tells people.
But my daddy thanked my mom for everything that she did for him. And people noticed that. My mom noticed that. When my dad passed away, my mom just tearfully would tell anybody who wanted to hear, he was so grateful. He was so grateful. And that just really made an impact on me, that how much it impacted her that my father was, expressed his gratitude to her. So I try to make it a habit in my life to express gratitude to anybody. I even if I go through, a lot of times I love McDonald's coffee when I'm traveling. I don't go to fancy coffee places and spend a whole lot of money on coffee, but I'll go through the McDonald's drive-thru and I'll get me a large coffee with a shot of espresso in it, because I like a coffee that'll hit me back, And if I go through a drive-thru at McDonald's or whatever, and the drive-thru people are smiling and friendly and nice and act like they're happy to see me even though they don't know me from Adam, a lot of times I'll tell them thank you, and then I'll stop my car, I'll park, and I'll go in and ask for a manager. Now, I do it partly for fun, because I'll go in with a kind of a mean look on my face and say, I need to speak to a manager.
That always freaks people out.
But it always gets me a manager.
Yeah.
And when they come up, I soften my face and I just tell them, thank you for how your employees treated me when I went through the drive-thru for my coffee. It made the experience pleasant, and blah, 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 blah. And, it's sad to say, but chances are those employees don't get told thank you very much.
That's exactly right.
They probably don't get kind words spoken to them very much. It's just be kind. But this is specifically in terms of marriage, and specifically in terms of marriage tips for men. I'll just repeat this one more time. Rule number 1, be grateful. Say thank you for every single thing she does for you. Hashtag marriage tips for men. Anything to add, honey?
No, well, yes, one thing, and you be grateful for everything he does for you. Right?
That's fair enough.
And that's what, I find that sometimes I'm not as grateful as I should be. Sometimes I will be like, oh, I love it, blah, 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 and all, but I'll forget to say the words thank you. Thank you. And I mean, it's important to say that. And to let people know, especially your spouse, know that you appreciate them.
Mardella, I'm glad to hear that. Mardella McCullen Hessen on Facebook said, my husband always said thanks for meals and told me how good dinner was.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing.
You don't have to wonder.
It's nice to feel appreciated. So anyway,
that's right.
Try to have you another marriage tip for men next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right, you need the camera over there again right quick?
Yeah, I do. I'm just, I wanted to, Lisa 1967 says, can you can the zucchini in a simple syrup like you would apples?
Great question.
I'm going to say no. Now you can look up in some of the canning books and everything. You wouldn't do it just like apples, because you've got to remember apples have pectin, and I think that helps, natural pectin. I think that helps preserve them.
Oh, that's good.
I just don't know that question. I know squash, to put up squash the way I put up squash, not a sweet squash, but with salt. You have to do a pressure canner for 40 minutes. So with 10 pounds of pressure, so because they just don't have any acidity to them or anything like that. So, you know, you'd have to ask or look it up and see if there's any recipes out there. I just really don't know.
Yeah.
And I think
so. If you're asking us, the answer is no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do otherwise at your own risk. So.
Retiring Bourbon said,
thank you, Cindy.
Will truly feel appreciated when you thank.
That's right. And Mardella says she always tells her doctor how nice the staff is and brings them candy.
Oh, yes.
We bring ours candy too. Not candy, we bring ours bread and egg custard. That's my doctor loves it, Patty's egg custard. Yeah. So that's right. All right, so while Patty's doing that, Patty, you want me to tell them right quick?
Well, why don't you turn it down? Well, let me
Okay.
All right, now the recipe, y'all got the recipe. To do it the way I do it is 1/4 of a cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. Boil them till they're done. Cook them till they're done. Strain them really good, longer than what I have just strained this, okay? Because I like them to be kind of dry. Then you're going to add 1 cup of sugar. This is a 1/2 cup measure, so I'm putting 2. 1 cup of sugar. And then, let me make sure I do the right amount, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon.
Patty always checks her recipe, which is probably a pretty good practice.
Just 1 teaspoon and a half. I usually will mix my cinnamon and sugar together and then add it. That would be a better thing to do. So hopefully my cinnamon's going to mix in. So, and then stir it up, and it's going to make this wonderful juice. And so we'll go on and talk about the different conferences while this is sitting a few minutes where y'all can see the juice come out. And Tommy's taste test.
By the way, I saw that, Tammy McWhirter Davis. I feel your pain. She typed up there. Let's see. Dear age, the last garden we had. Ugh. And then she said, oops, R, not age. And she said, geez, autocorrect, dear 8.
Well, at least it was autocorrect. It wasn't your spelling.
Yeah, I'm feeling you there, Tammy. That happens all the time. Too funny.
Okay, let's talk about the conferences.
All right,
so you can see the juice. It's making the juice. It's coming out.
I just want to climb over in that.
It is so good, and it's smelling like apples now because it's got the cinnamon in there.
Yeah, it's so good.
So it is just wonderful.
So I think we shared.
You can turn it on us now.
I think I shared. Okay, let me go ahead.
Yeah, might want to do that first.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do this first. Ready?
Okay.
Oh, whoa. Oh, we have another surprise too. Coming, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to tell.
Okay, never mind. Well, it's kind of late now. I kind of blew that.
Yeah, you sure did.
Oh, well, anyway. I think we shared with you last week, and we've only got a few minutes left, but July 28th, we're going to be at the Pratt Family Homestead, Michigan YouTube Homestead Hootenanny. Woohoo! And we can't wait.
So excited.
And then, I think we may have mentioned this last week, but
I think we did.
and August 12th and 13th, we're going to be in Hannibal, Missouri at Off Grid with Doug and Stacy's Homesteading Life Conference, which we're excited about. You need to get your tickets to that if you hadn't already because there's limited seating. The seating is indoor. Outdoor, there's going to be vendors. We'll have a table outside. And
we're going to be doing some kind of bread demonstrations or something.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything about that?
Well,
what you might be doing?
Well, it's in the works and everything right now, but we're going to see. Maybe there's a man that's going to have the booth next to us with sun ovens, and so we're going to talk with him and maybe see about baking some bread or something like that. So,
yeah. So Patty may actually be baking sourdough bread in a sun oven.
Yeah, and Nanda's coming too.
Yay, Nanda.
Yep, she's going to be there.
So, and Nanda's, although she probably don't know it yet, Nanda's going to catch the train and go with us
she's coming with
to
us
Michigan, to the Hootenanny, right, Nanda? All right, so here we go, July 28th
Yep.
in Michigan. August 12th and 13th in Hannibal, Missouri. And then, dun, dun, dun.
Rounding out the year.
Rounding out the year so far.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's it.
That's going to be it for us.
Yeah. October 12th and 13th in Front Royal, Virginia at the 2nd Annual Homesteaders of America Conference with those fancy people right there.
Yes.
Joel Salatin, Stacy Lynn Harris, Eustace Conway, Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, Justin Rhodes, M.L. Gardner, and on and on and on. Big Bear's Homestead. Big Bear will be there showing how to trap. Daryl Patton. Pratt family will be there. Woohoo!
Yep, we can get to see the Pratts twice this year.
And
this will be the 3rd or 4th time we get to see Nunda.
AldermanFarms will be there too.
Yep.
And Patty will be teaching you how to make bread.
Yep, with bread.
How she telling her story about how bread was her into the farmer's market and how it can be yours too. And I will be reprising my presentation on how to survive the aftermath of trauma. It'll be updated with some updated information and so forth, but we are looking forward to that. All right, what else? We don't have very much time.
Well, Springfield Ridge Farm said they're supposed to be going to Hannibal, but they haven't got their tickets yet, so you better be getting them.
You better be getting them.
Have we got ours?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You better be getting them because, and you can go to homesteading. Let's see, does it say it on? Did I catch the? No, but I think it's Homesteading Life. Doggone it! Somebody put a link to it.
I think she may have. No, she didn't. She didn't.
Somebody put a link to
said
it.
That they have a sun oven and they love it and cooked in it today. That's what I was thinking about wanting to get one too.
Yeah,
so.
We'd love to have one. And,
so we might have to do that. All right, let's look at the apples again.
You ready to look at the apples again?
Well, I mean our zucchini. Oh, sorry, it's kind of warm, huh, babe?
Yeah, but it's not hot. It just scared me.
But see, all this made a lot of juice. So let's let Tommy taste it.
Yes, I'm all for tasting.
I think I'll taste it too. Okay, you can put the camera back on you. I just wanted to see. I just wanted to see how it made the juice and everything. So, and I've made, like I said, I have made apple pie with this. Oh, and after they were strained, I added 1 cup of sugar and 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice to it. And this will grow great in my queen loaf. And get some juice too.
That's a tart apple, y'all.
Ooh. I sat on the chair. It was turned sideways. I almost fell off backwards.
That's a tart apple.
That is good.
Man, that's good.
Want some more?
No, I don't have time. But
it's good and soft too.
I do have time to remind you that whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. And by the way, that word all in the Greek means all. Everything that you do, if you're a believer, should be done to the glory of God. You can find that in 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. And so, if you hadn't gotten Patty's, either of Patty's books, Sourdough Start to Finish, or her 20 easy Instant Pot recipes, you can get them at the address on your screen there. There's a link in the description of the video, aldermanfarms.net/ebooks. Oops, why do I do that? I meant to do that. There's a link to our Amazon store. There's a link to the Cameron's, our son's YouTube channel. He's up over 100 subscribers. Thank you guys for that.
Thank y'all so much.
He just did a little vlog video. You need to go check that out. It's cool how he did it. And there's also a link to the Pratt Family Homestead YouTube channel. And everybody watching us right now needs to go click that link right now and go to the Pratt Family Homestead because they will be live momentarily. Thank you guys for joining us.
Wait.
Sorry.
We've got a minute. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Okay. You can, Valerie, you can freeze it. Once it's cooled, freeze it. And then, Carrie, let me know what you do and how it turns out. So, okay.
If you got any questions we didn't answer, comment on the video once it's posted.
Yeah, please.
Thanks, guys. We love you.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much.